Okay. So they assigned me a bed there in the hospital, and I got in that bed, and I was so hungry and hurting, and I didn't care. It didn't matter what happened to me. I was just zonked out anyway, So, and plus, that injection had made me, had put me into a state of euphoria because I was healing, and I could tell that God was with me and God was healing me, and everything's gonna be all right because God was there and He was with me, and that's what had happened in the other reality. I mean, God had arrived, and the world was ready to be destroyed, and it was done, and it all happened, and then I was back in the jail. Yeah, I was back in the jail after my trip to my own personal heaven. I'll put it that way. Had to be my own personal heaven. I'm not saying this is your heaven. No, sir. No, I'm not going to tell you that. It is, but I'm not going to tell you that because it was all made for me. I was the center of attention there, I guess, because I was seeing it through the eyes of, I had just saved the planet in this other reality. And now I had died and I had gone to my reward, and I was there to receive my reward, and it was bestowed upon me. Yes, sir, it was bestowed upon me with great gusto and with mucho love and affection. And I mean, it was the most glorious. I mean, nothing has ever come close in my lifetime to that exquisite ecstasy of warmth, being cradled and caressed, and I mean, I know how a puppy must feel when somebody picks it up and just hugs it like, oh, isn't it so? I mean, that's the way you feel, man. I mean, it's like, oh, and I know, oh, yeah, that puppy feels, oh, yeah, that's the way it felt. Oh, it was so good, so good. There's nothing like it. And I was there, and I was in it, and it was so beautiful, and so exquisite, and so glorious. And it was like millions of voices singing, oh, in low tones, and beautiful melodious, melodies, oh. It just wrapped me up. It wrapped me up. But I came back to that that jail hospital where the guards are there to make sure you don't get out of line, and I was a prisoner of the county, so I'm an outlaw, and I had been charged with aggravated assault on a police officer or something. I assume I'd been charged with pretty serious charges, evidently, That's the way they treated me. So, I assumed I was a real desperado. Anyway, tried to handcuff me to that bed, or they did. But that injection, when I got to that hospital, my feet and legs were just swollen up like elephant legs, and feet. They were so, I had ingestion on my heart and that fluid on my legs, and they were, I was holding water like crazy from somewhere. Wherever I was getting it, I was soaking it in because I damn sure wasn't getting it to drink or juice, that much of it. No, sir. No, sir. I wasn't retaining fluids that way. I was soaking it in somehow. But anyway, that injection started the swelling going out of my feet and legs. And it shrunk down enough that I wiggled my foot out of the handcuffs, out of the shackles. And then, this black nurse, man, she was mean, one of them Oprah types, whatever she said, that was law. So anyway, she seen that I was out of that shackle, because I stood up and walked around and picked up something that had fallen off my little table there. Yeah, they had given me something to eat, like a piece of fruit or something, maybe a little package of cookie or something, but I don't know. Anyhow, it had fallen, and I was so hungry, and I was wanting it, and nobody would pay any attention to me to come over and hand it to me or nothing, so I was just waiting. And when I slipped my foot out of that shackle, I just started giggling to myself. I thought, oh boy, this is going to be funny. And I got up out of bed and went around there and got that cookie or whatever it was that had fallen, and that nurse seen me. And she hollered at me, what are you, she didn't know what to say. What are you doing out of bed? How'd you get out of that shackle? And I said, I'm shrinking. And she said, what? And, and so I got back on the bed because, the guards turned and started giving me the looks. There were maybe 12 guards up there at that guard station. And they were just hanging out, I couldn't figure it out. Why was all them guards hanging out there in the hospital? But it began to dawn on me. They were all there because they had me in there. Every time they moved me, they had at least 4 guards. One man never moved me the whole time I was there. Prior to getting to the hospital, it was always at least 4 guys would be walking along with me and would wind up picking me up and carrying me to one of them damn isolation rooms. So that's why everything's hazy to me. What I do recall of that jail was so much brutality that it boggles the mind. It boggles the mind that they could be that cruel and inhuman towards somebody. And you can call me a crybaby if you want to. I do not care what you call me. I'm a human being, and nobody deserves to be treated like that. Nobody. I tell you what, buddy, I got a whole new respect for slaves that have to endure and prisoners that had to endure. I mean, I was put through an extreme. Mine was like a crash course, I assure you. Mine was last year was a crash course for me, because the influences had me. Bam! What was I to do? What could I do? Nothing. I was helpless. I was defenseless in the whole situation. I had no control over myself, my actions, my thoughts, my vision, my situation, my inability to cope or comprehend. I mean, I could not believe it. Just like you cannot believe it. I could not believe it, and still don't. I mean, I do. I mean, it's more intense than anything. You'll never know. You'll never know. I mean, it is super reality. It is not reality like this is. No, sir. It is super reality. That's what I was in. Super reality. Hyper reality. Yes, sir. And then to come back and bam, wind down, and there I am. Back in the presence of the guards and the nurses and I never did see other prisoners. I saw them, but I had no contact with them the whole time I was in isolation. I had no contact with any other prisoners at all. And very little contact with the guards, or I saw no doctors. I had no physical exams. I had no medical attention other than being dosed twice daily, I assume, with 5 at least pills at a time I was forced to take. And very low calorie intake, very meager diet, consisting of very basic foods. But come to find out, those foods are what I needed to survive the ordeal I was going through. That's what I came to understand. And to this day, I enjoy those foods with a new gusto. I love peanut butter even more than ever. And I love bologna. Yeah, I don't eat as much of it as I did, but I love it. And those little ramen noodles, oh, son. 20 cents a package. But I love them now. Don't know why. But that was a delicacy in that jail, a package of ramen noodles. That's what they gave me when I first got there, the other prisoners, because I had spent all day, the day I went to jail, I ate breakfast, and then I went for a motorcycle ride, and then I stopped in shopping, and that's where I got in trouble, and I got put in jail, and was there overnight, and there was 24 hours with no food. Since I'd eaten. Next morning, the county guys come pick me up, took me to the county jail, and I went into their pre-booking area where you have to wait and go before the judge for the arraignment and all this stuff, or whatever. Anyway, I had to wait in there, and I was in there at least a day and a half. And I don't remember getting fed in there. I don't remember it. If I did, I do not remember it. I do not recall being given any food while I was in there. But, so there's 2 days I haven't had any food. And then they took me to the cell eventually, I guess. I finally wound up in a cell. And one of the young prisoners there, I finally got in there, and it was the middle of the night or something. And the next morning when they woke up, oh man, I was laying there, and I couldn't raise up. I couldn't raise up out of bed. And them other guys started talking to me, and I told them, I said, man, I can't move, and I'm hurt, and I'm starved, and I got no energy. And one of them boys fixed me up one of them ramen noodles. He made it with coffee pot water. In that jail, it's a pod deal with about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, maybe 6 different pods, cells with about, I don't know, I forget, eight guys to it, or, yeah, I think it's 8 guys. I can't remember. I wasn't in the jail that much. No, I was in that isolation. No, sir, I wasn't in the jail that much. I don't remember that much about the jail. Very little. I remember a lot about the infirmary. I was in there, and boy, that was a madhouse. I'll tell you about the infirmary later, though. Okay, I gotta stop for a while.